Well, I think that I'd promised that I would bring back some of this orange. And that's what I'm working on. Well, that's what I was working on earlier. I'm going to leave the left-hand side of the sky for now because I'm probably going to make a couple of very small changes in here. I might not even paint up in this corner because I might do something here as well. Anyway, let's not worry about that for the moment. What I'm working on right now is sort of the final iteration of these trees. And obviously, well, it's really about the sky, but you know, it's at the moment these two things are working together. I think I mentioned as well that I was not going to use any, or likely not to use any cadmiums in the intense part of the sky here. Again, I lied. And I did end up actually putting a little cadmium yellow pale, mixing it with yellow ochre and white to bring the intensity here. Then as I moved to the outside of that, I've added a little bit of, I took away the cadmium pale, okay? A cadmium yellow pale. And then I've gone to just yellow ochre. And started to add a little bit of alizarin crimson into the mix, warming the edges up. Then as I moved away, I started to add a little bit of less yellow ochre. Now we get into a hint of ultramarine blue, mostly alizarin crimson. Now we're working in we've added a bit of raw umber, just to keep things cooling off as we get away from this area. And as we keep moving away, we'll use more raw umber and probably more cobalt blue, not ultramarine, but cobalt blue, to fill in these areas. Now, over to the left, I'll introduce probably a few of these colors as well. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm doing the overpainting of the sky. But often things like this need to be broken up a little bit. You know, you don't just want a huge mass of color. Keeps things more interesting if you can break things up a little bit. That's what I'll do. Okay, I'm going to thin that branch off a little bit. And we're going to cut into here. In general, I want to thin this trunk off a little bit. And that's what I'm doing. Ultimately making it a little less important just by virtue of lowering its mass. I don't want to go too low in value, so I'm just going to stick with my what now amounts to raw umber, alizarin crimson, a little cobalt blue. And I'm dropping this tree line a little more. I think, you know, first I had it running pretty high, and I've decided to drop it a little bit when I washed in the sky. Now I'm dropping it further. You know, now that I'm doing the overpainting, I don't have a lot of options. Well, I do, but I really prefer to kind of try to nail it now. Try to get those shapes to their final iteration. To their final design. Yeah, I think we're doing the right thing here. Okay, I think that's pretty much what we want. Let's put a little more of that up here. Okay, I'm going to mix up a little more of this. Raw umber, cobalt blue, alizarin crimson. Whoops! Way too much alizarin crimson. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I don't want it too busy. I want it to fade off. I want this to be interesting. I don't want the sky behind it to be interesting. That's just a fail waiting to happen. Okay, that's a lower value, which is good. Might be a little too low, actually. Yeah, I'm going to put a little more white in there. All right. So, I put a very short video recently, and I can't resist it. I have to comment on it because I found the reaction to be so funny. Jordan Peterson. So, yeah, I'm working on the sky, and this video will be a bit of a social experiment as well. Jordan Peterson. So, I'm just going to lay in these colors. I'm not going to take you through the rest of the sky because there's Jordan Peterson. There's still quite a ways to go through it. A lot of work to be done on it. But we're heading in the right, Jordan Peterson, direction. I thought it'd be kind of interesting because if I mention that particular name, people seem to get a poopy diaper very quickly. And you know who gets poopy diapers? Babies. That's really about it. Ask me how I know. You know, years ago when we had our first child, who was our daughter, I was a cement finisher at the time. I came home from work after, you're a cement finisher. You work very hard physically, and I was tired. I came home and, well, you get so dirty before you even hop in the shower. You start with just washing your face, saying hello to your wife, and so I went into the washroom, grabbed a face cloth, wiped my face off, and pretty quickly realized that that face cloth had been used as a baby wipe after cleaning, yeah, a poopy diaper, Jordan Peterson. So, anyway, that's one of my fond memories. It's one of my earliest memories of, well, that's related to my daughter. Anyway, I thought it was pretty funny. Thought I'd share it with you. Probably too much information. And yes, I did wash my face more thoroughly after that little event. Okay, I think that's pretty much okay. I may not do more here. If I do anything, it's going to be bringing some other bit of foliage way over here, something to break this up, because it has a bit of a feeling of empty, strong post and empty. However, that's because this is only washed in. It's not painted yet. We can easily change that, Jordan Peterson. So let's just square off the camera briefly. So that you can see what I can see. Yeah. I like how that happens, or how that's going. I like the intensity of the yellows there. You know, it's a bit bold maybe to put that strong a color in the sky, considering it's not sort of the focal point. But what that does, if you lay that in early, it challenges you. It's certainly going to challenge me to make the more, what is supposed to be interesting area, the focal area, that is now going to have to not only compete with this area, but it's going to have to overtake it. All this here, that sky, that is yet to be done. And by the time you see it, the next time, it will be done. Okay, I'm liking it. Let's, Jordan Peterson, see what happens next time. No, I'm not going to do that again. I just got such a kick out of it. Let's see how many poopy diapers come out of my little commentary today. See you soon.